Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy at Ninjazilla90, and today I will be reviewing all over again since my mass deletion on this channel. Since, I realized I've been overspending on this, and it really got to me mentally and emotionally. And yeah, if collecting these is going to run you broke, then don't do it. Go for a much cheaper line, which I will be doing on this channel as soon as I can. But anyway, with that said, I will be reviewing the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla -1 minus color version. Now, yes, there is a regular color version of this figure that is out now, but unfortunately, due to the high price tag, I have decided to opt out of buying that one. So, yeah, you won't be seeing any reviews for that one on this channel. So, sorry to disappoint you. But we are getting a review for the minus color version, which I would have rather have the normal color version of this figure, but you know what? Minus color version is better than none, and I still appreciate this one. So, with that said, let's get on with this review. And now here we have the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla -1 minus color version before us in all of his -1 minus color Goji glory. As you can see, this is a sharply sculpted, highly detailed, highly articulated figure. And unfortunately, I no longer have the boxes, so I won't be reviewing them with the boxes anymore. So, because, well, at least not most of them, except for my singular point jet Jaguar, which I still have the box for because I got his accessories in there and the big helicopter jetpack thing. Yeah, I don't want the propellers to break, so that's why I'm keeping the box for that one. But in the meantime, yeah, I will be reviewing them all over again without the boxes. And please, I advise you, do not make the same mistake that I have. If buying these figures is leaving your bank account the same way Godzilla leaves Tokyo, then that's not good. Yeah, that just means it's just putting way too much of a financial strain on you than what it's worth. So it's not worth the stress. So don't go there. Opt for something cheaper. That's what I'm doing from now on. So definitely, please, Steven on Steven's Sword Review warns people about that all the time, so I'm most likely not the only one who's made that mistake. But anyway, getting more in depth with this figure. As you can see, I'm going to bring him up so we can get a good look at that beautiful face of his, looking really sharp. We can see that scar right there where Shikishima blew up that bomb and hit that buoy bomb in his face, that floating bomb. I forgot what it's called. I need to rewatch it. But yeah, he's looking really nice. We have good jaw articulation there. And we can see those very beautiful, sharp, gray pearly whites. And yes, I said that. Gray pearly whites. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense. Gray pearly whites. And we see that very beautiful gray tongue in there. Looking really nice. Nice. And we do have some head articulation. The neck can look down about that much, up somewhat, and we can rock side to side, not so much. His head really doesn't turn because of the sculpt, so you don't really get that much head articulation with this. So yeah, although abundant articulation is what S.H.MonsterArts and S.H.Figuarts is known for, but yeah, you're not getting a whole lot of that in the head area on this figure, so that's kind of unfortunate. But anyway, moving right along down to the chest and the waist and the abs of this figure. This figure does have a very good articulated abdomen, so we do have an ab crunch, so we got good waist articulation, and we can move him up, and we can swivel him slightly from side to side, and like I said, we can look all the way down like this. We can't really bring his head down too much like that, but we can bring his waist down, so we can look down like that. And his shoulders are on very good barbell style ball joints, so we can rotate those shoulders all the way around a full 360. Same is true with the other arm. We do have a bicep swivel, but do be careful because it's a little tight, and because I do not want to break this figure, because God forbid if I'm ever going to fork up the money to buy another one, expensive like these are. And we do have a double joint at the elbow, which, yeah, due to the sculpt, the double jointed elbow really doesn't do you much good. We can go back about that much and forward about that much. Same is true with the other arm, so we can go back and forward about that much. So articulation with this figure is somewhat symmetrical, and we can swivel that elbow all the way around. So we do have somewhat of an elbow swivel, but those elbows do like to pop off very easily, so do be careful. This one, as you can see, it just popped off because I just put dish soap in that one earlier because it was very tight. So hopefully I can get this back in on camera. Oh boy. Please go in. Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause it. Okay, I'm back, and his arm's back on. I have to pause the video and adjust that ball joint and pop it back on. It wasn't hard. I got it back. But yeah, that's also one of the reasons why I'm going to be opting out of collecting MonsterArts for the foreseeable future. Not only because I need to better my finances, because, yeah, these figures tend to fall apart a lot and pop apart a lot, you know, despite the astronomical price tags that we're paying for them. And yeah, if we're gonna have to keep paying that for these figures, don't you think we should expect better? Like, seriously, they need to, you know, improve on that. Same way I am improving on my priorities, because yeah, I am not going to keep buying things that run me broke, and that caused me to overdraft my bank account. Yeah. Thank God Capital One does not charge me fees, because I'd be up to my neck in debt right now. Thankfully, thanks to the good Lord, that's not the case. But anyway, moving right along, we have some good wrist swivels here. So we do have a good swivel in the wrist. Same is true with the other side. And we do have a bit of a hinge in that wrist as well, so we can get some claw swiping action. So that's pretty cool. Although the only cool thing is, only thing that's not cool is the fact that this figure tends to pop off in certain areas, and the overly expensive price tag. That's not cool. Now I'm talking like Carlito. But anyway, moving right along down to the legs and the hips. We got some good articulation in those hips. The hips are on ball joints, so we can turn them a full 360. Now, if your hips are tight on yours at first out of the box, you might want to use a hair dryer, pop those hips off, and then hit them with some heat. And then, hit them with some heat and then pop them off, like use a hair dryer, then pop them off. Then get some dish soap on a Q-tip, apply that, and then pop them back on. You should be good. The hips can spread out about that much. We can come in about that much. And we can kick forward about this much and kick back about that much. We should be able to kick forward and kick back a good range because the legs can move a full 360 while on the hips very easily. And the cool part about this figure is we do have articulated toes. So we can spread those toes out and we can move them down and up with all 6 of them. Well, it actually has 8 toes, but we have 6 toes that are articulated, so we can do that. So that is pretty cool. And we do have some articulation at the ankles as well. And we do kind of sort of have a slight shin swole, but not very much because it's hindered by the sculpt. So do not force it unless you want a broken figure, which I don't think you do. Not for these prices. And getting to the tail, which is the best part for most S.H.MonsterArts figures. Not exactly all of them. Which we do have a fully segmented tail, so we can move it this far this way until, of course, this pops off. Yeah. And this way. And we can move it up somewhat, and we can sort of get them into somewhat of a Godzilla versus the smog monster pose like that, where he is flying, but yeah. Wait. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up for articulation, and just getting a more in-depth view of this figure, you can see a very sharp detail, and also his top dorsal spines do have articulation to them as well. So you can wiggle this top one and wiggle the 2 smaller side dorsal spines as well. But do be careful because they like to pop out. And yeah. But popping them back in is not that hard, but it just kind of makes me nervous because of the, kind of very skinny edges of the dorsal spines. I'm just kind of scared that my finger might slip and it might just cause that to fold and snap. So yeah, that's the main thing I worry about this figure. So yeah, like these dorsal spines, like if this figure takes a shelf dive, like I can just picture these just snapping clean off. So not good, but fortunately that hasn't happened to mine yet. So that's a good thing. I've already had an S.H.MonsterArts figure fall clean off the shelf and take a shelf dive, and he was absolutely fine, and that is this one. My Godzilla, my S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 1954. I mean, he just fell clean off the top of my shelf, hit the floor, boom, like pow. And yeah, his dorsal spines are fine. Although I think he just got like minor like paint chips, but yeah, that's not anything that bothers me too much. But I'm just glad he didn't break when that happened. So that goes to show you that S.H.MonsterArts figures are pretty durable depending on how they're sculpted. But this one in particular, yeah, how you can see how that dorsal spine is wiggling right there. I could see that breaking clean off if it takes a shelf dive. So do be careful with this one. That is to be advised. So with that all said, wrapping things up, I will now be getting into my final verdict and letting you guys all know what I think about this figure and what my final thoughts and opinions and my final score is. So with that said, let's get to it. And now for my final verdict on the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla -1 minus color version. If I have to give this one a score, I have to give him a drumroll, please. A well-deserved 3 out of 5 stars. So, unfortunately, I have to take points out of this one because I am rating figures based on detail, articulation, and playability. While this figure has really good detail and really good articulation, it lacks in playability. What I mean by that is this. Pieces coming off very easily, especially in the tip of the tail and in the elbow, as you witnessed. Yeah, we definitely have some QC issues going on here. So yeah, you do have to take points off for QCIs. So unfortunately, yeah, the figure does have QCIs. I'm going to have to take points off, but the less QCIs a figure has, the more points it's going to get. So as far as detail goes, very nice, very good paint apps, very sharply sculpted. Articulation is good, but however, the playability, not so much. And now, of course, I understand S.H.MonsterArts is mainly adult collectibles, and it's not made to be children's toys, so of course it's not going to have, it's not going to prioritize playability too much. But come on, we're paying out of our behinds here for these figures. For these prices, they shouldn't be popping apart like that. So that's why I am taking points off. And I am being definitely honest because, like I said, I have been overspending my butt off on these figures, and it's time for me to stop. And that's why I'm opting for much cheaper lines to collect and review on this channel. So there will be some changes that will be made, and not all figures that will be reviewed on this channel will be all mainly Godzilla and Kaiju related figures moving forward. So if that disappoints any of you guys, I am definitely sincerely sorry, but they will be interesting. But adding variety is not a bad thing, because not everybody that watches this channel might be big into Godzilla or Kaiju. They might like other things as well. So, that's also a good thing. I feel is a good idea to dip my toe in and to bring to this channel is more variety. And that's what I feel going on a lower budget will do, is going to bring more variety to this channel, as well as we're definitely going to do Hiya Toys. Though Hiya Toys is not off the radar, but S.H.MonsterArts is, at least for now, for the foreseeable future, because I really need to correct my priorities, because if you haven't read what the real reason was behind the mass deletion, is because I was financially struggling and I was under a lot of stress, and I don't want this channel to just be known for the expensive stuff. And that's why, you know, I don't want to be known for reviewing figures that I barely could afford. So, yeah. If it was hurting me financially, it was time for me to opt out of those. So, with that said, if you're struggling with the same thing, please don't make the same mistake that I have. Although, I'm lucky, I'm not in a world of debt, like I said. So, I'm well taken care of. I'm fine. I'm alive. I understand my life could be a lot worse. I've got a roof over my head. I've got food to eat. I'm not out on the street, and I'm not dying. So all is well. So, but anyway, I still do want to, significantly improve my life and improve my finances in the meantime. So, definitely wish me luck on that. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of the support and all of the engagement. You guys are awesome. And like I say, you all give me more of a will to do this. I will keep doing this. Although, like I said, on a much lower budget moving forward. Yeah, I'm more than sure you guys feel the same way. If this is spending those, if paying those astronomical prices is running me down, and I just really can't afford it anymore, it's best for me to opt for something that's significantly more budget friendly and accessible. But anyway, love you guys all to pieces. Definitely stay safe. Definitely take good care of yourselves. And, I wish you guys all the blessings from God in the world. And that's pretty much all. And peace out.